What's good, my boys? YTDan back again with another video. Today I'm here to talk about Neos, but not just any Neos, the bravest of Neos. You hate them, I hate them, we all hate them, but for some reason this card has drawn a ton of controversy lately. So I want to talk about that and talk about some other things that I think is pretty cool about Duel Links, and also some stuff that keeps you enraged. So if you're into that, my boys, like and subscribe right now, or Oguchi will get in those jams tonight. With the new structure deck that was just released, we received a very powerful card, an 1800 beater that allows you to search your deck for Neos fusion and also special summon from the graveyard a Neos face down. But using AD changer is an easy way to flip this card face up. So basically, on the first turn, you receive a 2900 beat stick, I believe, an 1800 monster, and a 2500 monster. Pretty much game if you can clear the first card, and if you have beat down, it's even better. So my thing about Neos fusion and Elemental Hero Brave Neos is this: I totally understand why people hate that card. I totally understand why people just don't like that card, and I want to just go into it a little bit more to give you guys some better context, and also let you guys vent in the comments below. Get down there and let me know how you hate Neos fusion, or how also everyone else is a scrub and you're the best because you clap Neos every single time you see them. So the first thing I want to talk about is the ease of summoning of Elemental Hero Brave Neos. Now, Brave Neos is nothing new, but like I mentioned in the previous segment, the structure deck literally broke that card. And honestly, when I went KOG last season using Neos and that powerful monster, basically it stood up to every single deck and I went undefeated. There was no deck that could literally challenge me because the field that I was able to create with Neos fusion was just pretty much undefeatable. When you think about it, on the first turn with one card, you can summon a powerful monster, set up the graveyard for future plays, and also protect that monster twice if you have a card like Bacon Saver put in the grave, combined with Neos fusion spell card. Also, you have the high attack points of being basically... Thanks, computer. Also, you have the high attack points that pretty much can stave off any monster outside of the Blue Eyes White beat stick on the first turn, which is formidable just, you know, on its own. But personally, I think that this particular combo, yeah, it is a little bit broken in the context of what we're playing right now. But you have to think about what's the highest tier decks and also some of the other rogue strategies. So let me think about some rogue strats that can jump over that. Of course, Quarion Gandrax is a great card, but it requires 2 tuner monsters and a big monster to synchro summon it. You need 9 stars, and that's not easy to do for the cost of 1 or 2 cards unless you're using Cyber Dragon and Deep Sea Diva. But everybody's not using that because right now you're playing Dark Lords. And of course, Dark Lords have the option to get rid of Neos by paying 1,000 of those things, but you have to make sure that you have the field set up properly to win in that scenario, which means you have 3 Dark Lord monsters summoned, all in attack mode, all beat down eligible, and the removal as well, which for Dark Lord monsters isn't impossible, but it's highly improbable that they'll have that response on the second turn. Most of the time, Dark Lords can muster 2 monsters in attack position and beat down with 3 monsters on board for just really big attacks. But with a Bacon Saver and a Neos fusion, you can stop all of that shit, which is why Neos fusion is still so good. Honestly, you know, with Neos fusion, I feel like the best counter for this card is enemy controller. If you hate Neos fusion and you really want to get around it, enemy controller is the best card. Enemy controller, back row removal, and a special in the normal can win you the game. Bacon Saver isn't enough. Bacon Saver can only stop 1 attack, and if they happen to have Karibo in their hand, which is likely due to the cost of Neos fusion only being, you know, 1 card, it's a possibility. So you have to have a little bit of luck factor as well. But pretty much, in my personal opinion, this card is obviously a super powerful card. It stands leaps and bounds above its brother in Duel Links Red Eyes Fusion, which basically lets you summon the Red Eyes Slash, but when you drop Slash on someone, you can't normal or special for the rest of that turn. You can only set a card face down. And honestly, I feel like that's a fair cost, because with Neos Fusion, it's easily cheesed. If you do everything you need to do, and then you play Neos Fusion as the very last play you make, then you get pretty much a special, a normal, and then a special summon of a humongous beater. And that's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, listen, you can be the best player of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links in the world. It doesn't matter how good you are or how good you think you are. But at the end of the day, if someone drops Neos Fusion, Neos, and an 1800 beater has beatdown, and the only card you have face down is Watapon or whatever it is, if it ain't Bacon Saber face down defense mode and a Karibo in hand, you're dead. So yeah, it is a very disgusting card, and the main reason I feel like people are truly disgusted about this is because that you can splash it in just about any deck, and you don't even really have to care about running more than 2 Neos. Honestly, 2 Neos is enough to make that deck run, make that engine run in any deck. So with 2 Neos in any deck, you can be running Gladiator Beast and drop Neos Fusion on someone. I feel like Neos Fusion is a type of card that invokes instant rage, similar to Yubel, but because Yubel can be cheesed by missing timing or pretty much out resourcing Yubel, Neos Fusion is just more rage inducing. You spend all day waiting to get a game in, and every time you try to play your cards, you're getting beat down by these ridiculous 2500 plus beaters that can just smash over almost anything. And with beatdown, it is too much, honestly. So the main thing about Neos Fusion and Brave Neos together is the card advantage that it clearly generates. I love it. But I know why people hate it. I know why you hate it. And honestly, it's because it does seem unfair and broken, especially when they go second. When you go first, you're in such a disadvantage in Duel Links that most people just scoop when they see the Neos Fusion. And I mean, honestly, yeah, you scoop because you don't want to waste time chilling, doing nothing. And you also scoop because it's like, man, that was some unfair bullshit. I didn't have any way to defend against it. Because on the second turn, you can summon out the Neos Fusion. You can even bring out the Neos. And let's say you do have Bacon Saber face down, and they do beat down, and they swing in with the Neos, with the Brave Neos. Brave Neos hits the monster. You get to add another goddamn Neos Fusion from the deck, and that additional Neos Fusion added to the deck, even though your opponent did not die, they know that another Neos is coming. And if they can manage to protect that Neos for a little and keep that man on the field, they're gonna play the second Neos Fusion. You know that the second Neos Fusion is coming on top of everything else they're gonna play. So yeah, I can see why people absolutely loathe this card. Going second, actually, Neos Fusion is really busted in Duel Links. And personally, I would say, you know, going second, I would say Neos Fusion is one of the most powerful plays you can make on the second turn. Not only because it can win you the game, but it creates even more advantage than you already had going second. You get the additional card because you get to draw it going second, and when you give your opponent a -1 from the attack of Brave Neos, you get a +1 that allows you to set up the grave on your next turn and continue the same things all over again. So if you were losing on turn 1 because you had a bad hand, you bricked, you didn't have the most optimal draw, you happened to draw the 1 Bacon Saver in your deck, and you were really hoping to keep it in your deck so you could play your Neos Fusion, but you happen to open up with 2 Neos in your hand, oof, you're dead. You're just dead. But yes, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, what are my thoughts on Brave Neos? What are my thoughts on Neos Fusion? Should it be banned, limited, restricted? Is it too good? Is it just good enough? Honestly, in this current meta, there are lots of options for Neos, just like there was many options for Ubel back in the day. But unfortunately for rogue style players and people who play decks that are off meta, Neos Fusion is a gatekeeper. Neos Fusion and Brave Neos is a bar to be met and exceeded. If your deck does not have an out to a turn 1 or turn 2 Neos Fusion for Brave Neos with Bacon Saver engraved, then your deck does not meet the bar to meet any tier. And that's just the reality of Duel Links. Same thing with Ubel. If your deck does not have an out for Ubel on turn 1, then your deck does not reach the bar to meet any tier in Duel Links. And that's just kind of what I have to say about that. So as a rogue style player, I have to keep in mind that Neos Fusion and Ubel on turn 1 is always a possibility in ranked. And if that is the case, I must build my deck to meet and exceed that bar. And not only that, I must be able to meet and exceed the top tier meta. And I honestly feel like this happens all the time in Yu-Gi-Oh!, all the time in Duel Links. The top tier meta is established, but there are cards that exist within the game, within the format, that set a level of quality that you must be able to meet and exceed if you want to be a successful rogue style player or rogue duelist. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this video and anything else that I'm going to be doing here on the channel. But as always, my boys, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe and keep it dang.